Hey everyone, it's Alex here from VG247.com, and I just wanted to show you a little bit of Deadly Premonition 2, which of course is the sequel to the sort of cult hit game where it was sort of a great B-movie game, a so bad it's good game. It had a whole lot of heart, but not very much budget, and the original game, I was one of those people who was a really big fan of it. It just had a lot of soul, and you had a developer who, with no money, was almost trying to be the next Hideo Kojima. Anyway, so this is the sequel because it was a cult hit and that made people put some money behind a sequel. And it's got all the same energy that the original game had. All the things that made the original game cool and cute is still intact. And I really, really enjoy that. However, the reason I'm making this video is because the performance is terrible. Not even terrible. It is disgraceful in places. Sometimes when you're inside, it runs fine if you're in more enclosed areas with less characters, but as soon as you get into the open world where it's streaming in new content, it's just a disaster. It's far worse performance-wise than the original game, which was already pretty ropey performance-wise. And it makes no sense to me, because this looks just like the original game, which of course was a 360 PS3 era game and then was later ported to other platforms. And we know the Switch is roughly equivalent to those machines. There's plenty of great ports of 360 and PS3 games on the Switch. But this is just a real pig. And it's not even a port. It's designed for the Switch. It's insane to me. Here's some footage of me on a skateboard outside. Just look at the performance. That's crazy, right? And that's just the tip of the iceberg. The slow loading times, all this sort of stuff. A lot of this game feels like they understand that the first game was sort of a so bad it's good deal, and they're in on the joke and they're leaning into that a little bit, which is great. But I don't know if that made them feel like they could get away with this performance, because it is disgraceful, which is a real shame because I'm really enjoying the rest of the game, but I'm actually finding it difficult to continue playing. The footage you're seeing is from the very start of the game, but I got a good way in, several hours in, and I'm just struggling to find the will to keep playing because of how it performs. So yeah, I wanted to highlight that about Deadly Premonition 2. The performance is just insanely weak, insanely poor, and it is, like I say, a real shame, because although clearly this isn't going to be a groundbreaking game, it's still a fun experience. It's still a game that has that heart the original game has, and it's got lots of mini games and lots of little touches here and there, and especially if you enjoyed the first game, it's sort of intertwining and tying in with the first game in a really interesting way, and building a mystery that the player can unfurl and solve as you go through the story. But I'm not sure you'd want to go through the story with how this game runs. It's just crazy. So yeah, that's Deadly Premonition 2. I'll let a little bit more footage run out to get us to the 5-minute mark or so, just to showcase how this game runs when you're just out in the open world. I'll just walk around, but it's nuts. It's just unbelievable. They need to patch this without a shadow of a doubt. So yeah, that's it from me. Don't forget to hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. If you ring the bell, you'll be the first to know about all our videos. We've got videos of more upcoming games, including some upcoming Switch releases coming very, very soon. So do all that stuff, and I'll see you next time.
Zach, the human ability to adapt is a frightening thing. Some humans have the power to sleep anywhere as long as they set their minds to it. Yes, I know. I know what you're about to say. But that's why we're here. To protect this peace. Isn't that right, Zach? One lollipop. 2 lollipops. 3 lollipops. Don't mind me. how I wake myself up. Hey Zach, it looks like we were right on the money. Tracing the San Rouge distribution route led us right to Louisiana. You know what that means. We've got a hot hand. And Lady Luck's given us far more favor than she ever has before. We just happened to hear news about Lisa's murder while sitting in a bar during our vacation in New Orleans. That certainly wouldn't have happened if we had stayed in D.C. They would have given the case to another special agent, or maybe even to the state, and then we never would have found it. In the end, it would have been shut up in that vast, desolate evidence vault along with all the other cases, marked by nothing but a first-degree murder tag, buried in a soggy grave at the bottom of a sea of data. That would have been its fate. Instead, it traveled from person to person until it finally fell right into our lap. Things always work out that way for us. We've traveled all over the United States trying to track down San Rouge. We can't let this chance pass us by, can we, Zach? We need to find some sort of clue before this southern sun melts.